with Sentinels Bugha, the solo World Cup champion, trying to carve himself out a little bit of space after a rough game 1. Follow the beach lines. The only decision you have to make is whether to go north or south. But you can't do that in this game because that zone 3 will end up coming through and you're gonna see maybe one person, and trying to push somebody from the water is nearly impossible. As we see Frist actually getting pushed here, it's Chronic Jays on the other side of it, who was taken down relatively early, so might be looking to punish Frist, who with 32 points had a solid first match performance.
Really a great first match performance, but Jay's on the other side. That Elam that he has, by the way, is on to the likes of Creo, which means that he's only gotten 2 points because he lost or was bested on the drop spot in the previous game before this. So Jay's clapping back here, and that's the thing about solos, right? Still has a lot of targets to choose from here, and Acorn is going to be one of the few. Couple more out there, though. I see some players in the storm line, multiple actually, right now sitting in the storm here, just trying to find their way in. Jack is there, Acorn, Osp on the side, all big names, all heavy hitters, accurate, deadly players. Aspect, who just claimed Saf not long ago, sitting down low on the river's edge as well. As we fly on to another change of scenery here. Up above, the new zone pulls towards Caddy's corner, and this is going to be one of those interesting end zones that are going to end here on the mountaintops. And
it is treacherous. It is awful. It is horrendous in terms of the changes in verticality when it comes to forcing you to use materials. This is one part where launch pads end up being more often than not used for vertical change rather than horizontal, because like we said, the changes in verticality level are so steep that if you get pinned up against one of those, you're basically forced to a situation. But ambush potential coming through here. You can see Bizzle going straight through, not necessarily sure if commandment. Blake and one more player will need to go down, and thank you. I was gonna say, can we see that back? Yeah, but Commandment boxed him like a fish, hits the pump shot, and Bizzle just barely even gets a couple tags onto him. So the TSM FaZe matchup going the way of TSM there, and Commandment. Why are none of these players shooting at each other? Well, the second one shoots at another, they're all going to be forced to stop and have to get into the zone. They're waiting because, as you've noticed, this is when we talked about that change in verticality. Once you commit to a fight, you're committed. You can't get out. And FaZe Sentinel is going to be dropped down, and that storm ends up ticking over into a 5-tick, but it doesn't matter. He tries to pick it up, and he gets taken down. Voil and Tahi with some great aggression, both ending up picking up Elims there, but now he's going to need to get around the side, and the change in verticality, he can't take any tags, he gets taken down, and that's what happens as the zone. Monster, did you see that brief glimpse of the map? We're going even farther southwest, so everyone, or southeast, so everyone on this northwestern side has to, the entire lobby has to make a max distance run. There's 3 people in the zone right now. So many players are going to drop. The chaos is about to happen. This is nuts.
I'm not gonna lie, it's almost like the Fortnite community forgot how to play solos. Like, everyone's on this outer edge. We haven't seen stuff like this on NAE in a long time, but honestly, it's just the way it's gonna play out. Sometimes the zone will just pull further and further, and this is why the entire world has to now cross on over. But we have launch pads, there's nothing to worry about, and that's why already it looked like for a while everyone was on one spot. Now look at the nice even spread. They just pad their way on in, and they're starting to cross. Clicks is gonna fall, Sharkman down, Carry down. Yeah, no, he shouldn't have anything to worry about right now other than getting away from this storm line right here, and he's going to do that. Big tag onto Chucky on his way on in, and he's got to make a decision here. Take the fight or take flight, and he's just going to run. He's going to make his way to that new zone. Beautiful read as well, by the way. And this is the other side of Fortnite. It's not just fighting. It's your decision-making in the real-time situations, like right here, right now. He finds an open window onto Peter, and Peter's got to back out. He almost gets one pumped out of the game, and that could have been his lead, his opportunity for first place gone. But no, Peter survives just a little bit longer. No ammo to work with, but he is alive.
Yeah, but I love Peter's decision. Hey, the second I'm under threat, use the launch pad, get out of there. I have to rotate anyway, and he's actually did exactly what I talked about. He's the one who maintained high ground and was able to just tarp slightly off to the side. So Peter Bot up in your top right-hand corner, currently sitting on 42 points. You can see Connor just under him. He was the Elam leader from match number 1. Currently sitting on 1 Elam. Peter pulls out the sniper rifle, but not going to be able to pop any extra points there. You can see Rokane also going past it. Pamstale using a launch pad, but Peter opting to just keep his solo tarp going, knowing that all the players who could have potentially threatened it launch padded a little bit earlier. Connor takes out Stretch for his second one. You can see Skittles ends up getting slacks, and we're closing in on our top top 15. And Pamsto is in a tough spot because these moving zones with absolutely no mats means if you don't find somebody else's, you're taking fall damage. And he finds the 72 tag, but immediately gets taken out as we go to the wide. And we see Peterbot holding that high ground. Could just give him the match here, Monster. Everyone else is in such an awful position, and the zone keeps pulling.
Yeah, it keeps pulling. Squish doesn't have builds either, and all of a sudden we're seeing how desperate players start to become here in the end game. Squish gets taken out. I think Styx is still in this one too. Here's Agers, 5 elims, 6 mats to work with, 60 builds here, guys, which means barely anything, and he couldn't get away either. Kanata on the other side, he might just be the best one in this game as far as what he has to work with. He still has builds. He's got the low ground now, and it's Nexi down there, Brocane down there too. Peter still on height though. He can really just walk his way through this. I mean, he's gotten so much free placement here, but he's running out of mats. He still doesn't have any ammo here, Sundown. I'm not sure if he has enough firepower to actually win this game.
He needs to drop down and go. He has that launch pad that he didn't end up using, but with only the 5 builds and all of it being wood, all of his priority positioning is gone. So instead, looking to hop into the box, but instead he has the flop where he's gonna pop the flop to try and maintain the positional advantage. He's hawking down on top of it. Meanwhile, Canada on the low ground ended up picking up next. The Casker falls right after, but Canada gets a second. Can he get a third? Peter finds the shot, but built by gamers. Canada comes up huge. 7 elims in the first one, 5 in match number 2, 12 so far, and the victory royale goes over to him. The replay, Oki's dropping down, and he ends up picking up an elim on the backside. But as you can see, Canada with the priority position on the right hand on the low ground. Normally this wouldn't be great, but both Oki's and Peter don't have builds. They're dropping straight down into the right hand of one of the scariest solo players in the game, and the pump swap is instantaneous. Back to back. That was gross.
And now he's here, and he's outplacing all these players that got inflated because of their previous placements. And
Clicks looks like he's trying to pressure upward. He wants a piece of this with only 2 mats and 3 HP to spare. It's 2 more than he needed, and he finds it with the gray tag. A desperate refresh, but not really enough in terms of the materials. And now when he has 43, he's got Degen on his wall.
So the top now starts to open up just a little bit here. Peterbot might still be in this one. No, actually, Peterbot's got 2. I forgot. So with Kanata being the only player in top 3 still alive here, Kanata's got a real chance to build up a nice, strong lead. And didn't get any whites off, which means he is super lit up. On the edge there, Clicks might be in a fight up against Degen. That's an interesting fight too.
See, now we're gonna hop back on board. C9 Avery with plenty of shields, as we actually see Miro end up getting taken down there just as we get the swap over. One player hanging out way on that shark side on the high ground. Probably has a launch pad to end up rotating late. May look to go for the late high ground, as you can see him there just kind of hanging out. Roken ends up picking up another elimination, but Clicks ended up getting the second. I think he was the one who got the elim onto Miro there. You can see Degen picking up one onto Nowsy Tragics. Gets Osp, and Clicks just creating a little bit of space. He's got some room here. He could really put a dent in the lobby and potentially look to put himself in conversation for a top spot. He has a gas can there. He has an entire horde of loot that he's sitting on, but right now, the only person that matters wall to wall with him on the other side, but BBG Kanata with plenty of space, launch pad, floppers, shields, blue pump. I mean, he's looking good, Monster.
Kanata's looking like he started this game off with a 30 extra point lead or something, because he is so far ahead of everyone else. If you're a competitor like Agers, Cease, Okis, any of these other guys that were up at the top there, I mean, you're praying. You're just absolutely praying Kanata does not make another end game, because otherwise he might just be a train on the tracks with no brakes here, gone. We'll see though. This zone's gonna really determine a lot. Polarize is he the player on hype right now? Yeah, Polarize has got hype, and notice the way high ground is held in solos, guys, you just want to cone it out. You do not want to reveal yourself. Kanata goes with a late play from the outer's edge here. Just trying to feel things out. Let players go first. Opting to go for the heals. He knows that meta is all about fish. And there, he gets to get the HP he's looking for. Recycle the launch pad and travel with everyone else, Sundown. This is perfect. But not only that, he's reading the zone. He gets to land right here on the side. He's trying to get deep in, and he gets a little bit of that high ground. Beautiful positioning there. Boog on the other side, looking for a fight though. He gets a launch pad. He's lit up. My gosh.
1 HP. Booga in the top right-hand corner. Degen just below him. Booga sitting on 14 points. Degen on 35. But Kanata currently sitting on what I believe is 78. He has 1 elim, but generally, we've seen all of his elims come in the late game. Box to box, immediate, quick reset as the player. I think it was Polarized, drops down. I think he realized he didn't want to be there. Now he's going to about face, see if he can catch Bucky, who's on a little bit of a late rotate. Zypha going down to Ace. We're closing in on that top 25, and we're pulling towards the southeast. So we're going back over land with a pretty significant change in verticality in terms of that hill. Everyone on the low ground, all those players who we saw go all the way forward are going to have such a tough time. But meanwhile, you called it out, Monster. Clicks up on the high ground, but Kanata is on the front side of the zone. He has tons of space.
Yeah, definitely. He's still in the fight here. He's going to take another box fight. This is for top 15 right here. He gets in, plays the rope-de-dope around the side walls. Remember, these are all his. It's his domain. He's got control. And even with the limited camera view, just look how comfortable he looks here. He looks like he has been here before, but it doesn't matter. The wrong edit there is going to backfire and pay out for Rokin on the other side. And now, Avery on high ground, working his way down. Clicks, trying to play the late heal here. Is that the play, though? I'm wondering, because now he's given up his power position. He comes out, though. It was the right play. It was sneaky, and it works. And now he's got the match to win this one. Sundown, he should be able to bring this home here.
Yeah, a nice little sneak play, back-to-back-to-back headshots going through 4 clicks. Now 4 eliminations and the mats he picked up from the Siphons, pushing him into the top 4. Mars takes down Polarized to put him in 5th. Tragics and Casker on the low ground. You should anticipate Casker trying to push Tragics out there as he's on the front, but Clicks is going to continue to just rain shots down. Meanwhile, Mars is going to hang out on the backside of the zone and look to just edge in, hoping that it pulls back out to the east, because it looks like he's playing with minimal mats, and as I say that, he drops down into the water to try and just lose it, but Casker smells the blood in the water and ends up picking up Mars. Here's our top 3. Clicks on the high ground, Casker on the low ground, Tragics with a medkit play and 3 builds on the mid-tarp. Clicks also with a medkit play up on the high ground, but it looks like Clicks is out of builds. He has only 2 left.
Yeah, he's got 2 to work with. He spots out Tragics, though, on the edge there. The Siphon is good. It comes through.
Oh.
The sniper shot, toe-to-toe, out in the open. No more builds, and Clicks goes down. Casker with the low ground peak there, launching him up to 62 points. Casker is now officially in the conversation here for contending the top 5 there. But, man, talk about a comeback story for Clicks.
What a great play from Clicks to just maintain control of the high ground after, I mean, we spent so much time on it, just showing him and Oak is hip to hip, but
4 straight headshots, and as you can see, the leaderboard here, it didn't actually shift much at the top there. Kanata ended up going down a little bit earlier than he has before, but he still is holding a 20-point lead over Peterbot. Peterbot went down like 5 minutes into the game, so didn't really get many points either.